Okay, let's do it. Eric Arnold here in the MLB barn on Thursday morning, late Thursday morning. Well, it's almost noon. Yeah, I know. We got to get our routine is not set yet, which it's part of good handicapping, as I've told you people over and over again. Getting the routine down leads to good results, and we don't have that routine set yet. So these early games, and I should have done this last night, but I just wasn't feeling it. So we got 4 picks for you today. Before we get into that, a couple program announcements. Pittsburgh Louie is no longer going to be joining us. I don't think we had any kind of acrimonious breakup or anything like that. He's just not feeling it, which I can understand. To handicap these games, it's a pretty significant time commitment. And if you're not feeling it, and if it's just for fun, you're just doing it as a hobby, and you're not having any fun anymore, well, then what's the point? Why? Then it's like a job. It's like, why do it? I'm doing it because it is sort of like a job for me. I'm trying to win some money. So, I don't anticipate I'm going to be going anywhere anytime soon unless the video component of this becomes so onerous and time consuming that I just stop making the videos. Yeah, then I would go somewhere. I'll just be making my picks by myself somewhere in the corner and you won't know about it. But we're not at that point yet. But yeah, I in a way, it's a heroic move by Louie. So, in that if you're not feeling it and you don't really want to do it, but you feel obligated to do it, I think that's going to lead to bad handicapping. And all he'd be doing is giving you bad picks. Here's some more bad picks so you can lose. What do you think of that? So rather than do that, he's just going to drop off. He's always welcome here in the Sports Barn. Pittsburgh Louie is always welcome here in the Sports Barn. So hopefully he'll drop by the comment section occasionally, just comment, if not necessarily give us picks. He's focusing on golf. So for all I know, he's out there looking for the golf barn right now, scouring YouTube for some guy that picks golf on a semi-regular basis, and maybe he'll go over there then. I don't know. But we don't do golf here in the barn. But for the time it lasted, we did appreciate Louie's contributions. I think it made the program much better. I'm lying if I said I'm not sorry to see him go. I am sorry to see him go. So, Louie, we salute you. Happy trails. Like I said, you're always welcome back here in the barn. Another program announcement. Congratulations to my father, who has defeated death and the Reading Hospital for the umpteenth time, extending his Berks County record to, at least 17, I'm thinking. He's in his early 90s, and I don't know. If I had to, let's see, how many times has he cheated death? There was a time he flipped a tractor over on himself in 1966. There was a time he almost got his head cut off in the mid-50s while he was working for the railroad. Now, granted, I'm getting these stories secondhand from him, so they could be embellished, just saying. There was a time in 2017 his heart stopped twice. I was there for one of them, where he flatlined out, and they had to jump on his chest to get his heart started again in the hospital, which was, I would argue, the Reading Hospital's fault. But, they would tell me otherwise. What do I know? Was that 2017? Yeah, I'm almost certain it was. Yeah, I think I'm right on that. Well, anyway, you get old, you forget exact dates. So he has defeated death again for the meantime. He had some kind of old man confusion deal there, which could very well be a stroke. So they take him in and they start poking and prodding him, and pretty soon his mind clears up, and now they can't figure out what's wrong, and they're running all their little tests, and This says no stroke. What about this test? No, this says no stroke. How about this test over here? That says no stroke. Well, let's keep testing him. In fact, we'd like to keep him here for another week. And, no, you're not. No, you're not. That's all the chances you get. He's fine. He's fine now. And we're not going to let you keep poking and prodding him, because what would you do if you found something anyway? Well, you're not going to cut his brain open at 90-some years old. Oh, we found a spot of something in there. It's the size of a walnut. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to go in there and get it out? Of course you're not. So there's no point. You pass the basic tests, an MRI is clean, a CAT scan's clean. At a certain point, it's like, well, that's good enough. So, old people in the hospital die. That's a fact. Old people go to the hospital, that's where they go to die. So you don't want to be there if you're over a certain age. You avoid it at all costs, because that's where people die. So he has escaped for the umpteenth time, extending his Berks County record. So that's good, all good. What's bad is what we did on Tuesday night. We had two big underdogs. We had Oakland, which we loved, and that didn't fire at all. And then we had the Red Sox at a big price. I think it was like plus 180. And we got to the last goddamn out, and Jake Diekman blew it up, because he's Jake Diekman. Honestly, I wasn't even that upset. I'm annoyed, but I'm not totally. It's like, well, he does suck, and he is facing some good hitters here. So this could go sideways, and it certainly did. So we lost both those big underdog plays. And then, of course, yesterday we don't play, and we get basically the exact same conditions in the A's game and the Red Sox game, both games we would have played. And they both come in winners as big underdogs. So that's how it's been going right now in April for us. Money on the table, lose. Money not on the table, win. So you get like that sometimes, and it just sucks. But you got to have confidence in your model, have confidence in yourself, have confidence in your handicapping, and just plow ahead and hope that those kind of things will even out. So that's what we're doing. We got 4 picks, so here we go. We're going to go ahead here with the Marlins here at 1 o'clock. They are on a roll. They're playing a bad team, the Nationals, which, how do you tell when teams are bad? This is how I do it. I identify certain players, often because they've played for your local team or something, that you've seen a lot of them, and you just say to yourself, that's a bad player. That's a bad player. Not only is he not that talented, he's just a bad, everything. He's a bad intangible guy. He plays bad baseball. If you've been around baseball at all, for you people from overseas or something that have just picked the game up in the last 2 years, you might not know what I'm talking about any more than I would know what it's like to play good football. And by that I mean English football. I don't know how to play good football. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, good baseball is all those little things that are basically forgotten in the modern game of home run, walk, strikeout, hit behind a runner, look for a fastball when you're up in the count, don't swing at breaking balls when you're up in the count, things like that. Well, there's a couple players on that Washington team that played for the Phillies over the past decade, the Phillies' decade of futility, where we haven't made the playoffs since 2011, over 10 years. Miguel Franco, Cesar Hernandez, these are bad players. There's a reason why no team wants to keep these guys. They go from team to team to team, and no one says, you know what, we need to make a priority to re-sign Miguel Franco. Word's never been said in the game of baseball. And now these guys are both starting for the Nationals. Right there you can see that the Nationals have a bad team. If they don't have somebody that can push those two guys out of the starting lineup, that's a bad team. Who knows? Cesar Hernandez could prove me wrong, and he could end up hitting 330, and his OPS could be 850, and he'd have a WAR of 5, and I go, wow. Cesar Hernandez has turned the corner. I don't think that's going to happen, but anything's possible. Until that happens, we're going to fade that kind of team, and that's the Nationals. So Marlins on a roll. We'll lay the price. We had it in our notes at 140, so I think we're safe there. Trevor Rogers is due for a good game. I was impressed with this kid earlier in his career. I've not been impressed with Patrick Corbin. I think he's just basically collecting money at this point. So everything about this game lines up for me to be the Marlins. All right, number next, 1 o'clock, the Phillies. Big price, but this just should, you catch value sometimes on these big numbers in that, oh, well, how can there be value when I have to lay 190 to get the big favorite? Well, what if the team is got a 75% chance of winning? That means the number should be minus 300, not minus 190, and that's what we think here. This number should be upwards of 250, 300. The Zach Wheeler hadn't pitched well so far this year. He's due. He's due to throw 6-7 innings and give up 0 or 1 runs. And if he does that, in all likelihood, they're going to win. So he's due to do that. He's just, I think he's just a little behind the curve because of the late spring training. We think he's going to have a good day today. The Phillies are starting to swing the bats a little bit. This is a scenario we like. We're going to lay the number there with the Phillies. We're going to lay the number with the Rays. I'm a little, this one I'm not as excited about as perhaps the Phillies game. But the Rays, they won last night. Think of it this way. You get 2 teams here. They're relatively, apparently, similar, but they're not. They sort of seem the same, but they're not, in that good bullpens, don't score a lot of runs. The Rays are a good franchise. They've been in the playoffs numerous times. They've made the World Series. The Mariners never make the playoffs. So, they seem to be similar, but let's go with the team that has the winning pedigree here. We'll take the Rays. And then the Astros, Rangers, the model loves the Astros here. It is all over them. And I'm a little nervous just because this is one of these big brother, little brother deals. And the Astros are big brother. And it just makes me a little nervous that the Rangers are going to come out today and really try to ruin my bet. Yes, I think the Rangers are specifically out to get me because I'm paranoid. But the model loves this game. I don't know if it's because Verlander's on the mound. I think Verlander's just basically back to normal. That's what it looks like to me, that he's just like he always was. One of your top pitchers in the majors, and you can just roll him out there at minus 200 and go to work. So we're getting them for less than minus 200, and I think we're catching the deal here. So those are the 4. We got the Marlins, the Phillies, the Rays, and then the Astros. I think they're all-day games. So let's have a good day, and if we do, then tonight will be even better. I don't know who we're picking in the NFL draft here. I know all you people are NFL fans, and you want to hear your NFL stuff, but I'm not a draft Nick. I don't follow it. In fact, the one time I actually did have to follow it because the world had ended in 2020 and I had nothing else to do. I said the Eagles should take Jalen Reagor, and they took Jalen Reagor, and he's been a goddamn disaster. So, I'm not a draft Nick. I'm not Mel Kiper. So I don't know who's going to get picked where. I don't know who's good and who's not. We'll just have to see. Just have to see. That's all I can tell you there. Good, great, thanks. Hey, hit the like button. Better yet, let's try to round up a few new subscribers to keep me interested in doing this stuff. Let's get a few new subscribers here. Good, great, thanks. We'll talk again. Eric Arnold, signing off.